Welcome again to another edition of Shelf Life Book Reviews Online. This week I would like to bring to your attention two very different fiction books. The very first one is LAZARUS by Lars Kepler. This is published by McClelland and Stewart and it retails for $24.95. Lars Kepler is actually a pseudonym for husband and wife writing team Alexander and Alexandra Underill. And this is the seventh book in the Juna Linna series, and they're all very engrossing mysteries. This one is nearly 500 pages, and as usual, these authors pack a lot into the books. Juna Linna is a very complex character. He is now back to work. He was on suspension for assault, and he's slowly getting back into his police world. But there is something going on, and that is a killer from the past, Jurek Walter, who was supposedly killed in a previous book by Saga Bauer in the book Sandman. I think that was the fifth book in the series. Now it appears Jurek Walter is back and deadlier than ever. And Juna and Saga team together to try to bring this man down as the body count begins to escalate once again as before. He is a sadistic serial killer who kills without conscience. People are being buried alive as well too. In fact, Saga's little sister is one of the victims, and she has been buried alive. And the question is, can they get to her in time? Jurek Walter is definitely one of the most sadistic, hateful people that the Lars Kepler writing team has ever created. And in the book, there's just so much happening. Juna Linna is a very complex character. We've seen his character evolve as he's gone through so many different things in his life, and he still is resourceful in when he hunts down the bad guys. And Jurek Walter seems to be getting the upper hand. But in a Lars Kepler book, when it seems like things are the grimmest, Juna Linna comes to the forefront. But there's a few unexpected things that happen during this book, including what happens to Saga Bauer. Now I'm not going to tell you what happened, but anyways, you'll have to read it yourself. And if you like a very good mystery, the Juna Linna series is definitely one that you should seek out. The second book that I would like to draw to your attention this week is Valencia and Valentine by SUZY KRAUSE. SUZY KRAUSE is a first-time novelist, and if this book is any indication of her writing potential, we're going to see a lot of great things to come in the future. This is a heartwarming story. It's very different from the first book, Lazarus. Let me tell you, it's a human interest book, and the story involves the life of Valencia, a young, approximately 35-year-old girl who works in a call center, and Mrs. Valentine is in her 80s. She's a rather an eccentric older lady that we think may have a slight case of dementia. But anyways, Valencia, in the call center, she calls people and she tells them that they owe money, and a lot of people hang up on her. Now, she talks to this man called James, and he wants to talk to her, and they have a long conversations, and it appears that there's a connection. Valencia has OCD, and she's very compulsive about things. She doesn't trust a lot of people. She has two friends at work, Grace and Peter, and they seem to be her entire world. So it's sort of a sad case, but James gives her a lot of attention. But when she tries to find out who James really is, she finds he doesn't exist. So we start to wonder, is this somebody she made up in her mind, or is this a real person? So there's a lot of interesting revelations there. Now, with Mrs. Valentine, she hires a young housekeeper, Anna, to help her with her work. Mrs. Valentine is filled with a great history of stories, and she tells Anna about her life and Mr. Valentine. And it's very warm and down to earth. Mrs. Valentine talks to people who aren't there. She's well, they're figments of her imagination, but they're very real to her. So the story is told in alternating chapters, and we get to see both characters, why they do the things they do, and how different things have happened during their lives that affect them today. So if you're looking for a story that is definitely a change of pace book, and by the way, this is published by Lake Union Publishing, and it sells for $36.95. This is definitely a book that you should seek out for just a gentle, down-to-earth read. You can read it at your leisure. It's not a book that you're going to be turning the pages, constantly. It's just a nice story about two very diverse people whose lives seem to intersect as well too. So those are the two books this week. I hope you will consider when you make your next book purchase of buying these two books. So once again, it's been a pleasure showing you the latest. And as always, as I say, please contact me. Please let me know what you like, what you don't like. And as always, stay social distancing. And keep well, keep sane, keep safe, and keep in touch. We'll talk real soon. Bye for now.